fashion, music, wellness.
And don't forget sex.
Mostly sex.
If it's trending, they'll be talking about it. Trend Radio is right here.
And right now, I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we always have something great to say.
Because it's us. So stay tuned.
You'll be glad you did. Good morning, Elise.
Good morning.
And how you doing today, Al?
I'm good as always.
He's always good.
Yes, you are.
He's always good.
So, Al, today we're going to talk about your vagina on sex.
Not your vagina, Al, but somebody else's.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I'd be a multi-millionaire.
That's right.
That's true. Yeah.
I've been thrown out of better places than this also.
Oh.
Well, Elise, from the very first thought to that ultra-satisfying orgasm, we're going to talk about what happens below the belt.
The lady belt?
The lady belt.
Okay.
That's right. You know, Women's Health and the American Congress of Obstetrics and
Obstetrics?
Obstetrics.
Okay. Whatever you want to call it.
Okay. Let's call it obstetricians
Okay.
and gynecologists.
Okay. OBs.
Yes.
Better for you.
Well, these guys teamed up with an exclusive survey that really revealed how much women know about their own anatomy.
Well, we know they know very little.
That's right.
We know very little. We know that from experience, and we also know from every study we've ever read that most women have absolutely no idea what it even looks like.
That's right. Nor can they name the parts.
Exactly, which is why we always say, you know, cozy up to a mirror and check things out.
So, to help our listeners better understand their nether regions, Elise and I are here to help.
Really? You're going there, huh?
Well, hey, when something sexy piques a man's interest, he gets firm.
Uh-huh.
But what happens
What happens,
to
Anthony?
women is really less outwardly obvious.
Well,
but just as stimulating.
What happens to women is stimulating. And I think something does get a little firm.
You're absolutely right.
I know that it does. And also a little more lubricated than normal.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah. Stimulation is a funny thing.
That's right. The second your brain senses some potential action, your blood vessels expand.
And then boom!
Yes.
Boom.
Direct extra blood flowing south. The increased circulation spurs vaginal secretions.
Yes.
Natural lube made up of proteins and amino acids.
Yes.
And it's the plumping of the vulva.
Exactly. And you start to feel that warmth.
That's right. That's the thousands of nerve endings in the vagina's most sensitive areas. They light up.
Exactly.
Now, you started to talk about this. I think you're probably a little more well-versed than I am.
Oh, you were saying that things stiffen up, you know.
For men.
For men. Well,
Yeah.
they do for women as well, because
Really?
there are tissues in the clitoris that do swell and stiffen as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's a tiny little thing, and then it kind of swells and grows. You know, your clitoris can actually triple in size.
Get out.
For real. Yeah. For real. You know, and it does, you know, after sex, it does shrink back down to normal, but...
How long does
know,
that take?
Well, it could take, you know, a while. It depends on the person. Everything is individual.
Days?
No. I'm sure, you know, I don't know. It could be minutes, hours, you know. Depends on the person again. But during this time period where there is that swelling, it could be a little difficult to actually urinate. Yeah. You know, I mean, there are a lot of nerves there. Well, you know a lot about this.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do. You know,
You're right. Oh, God.
I'll tell you what I do know.
Tell me what you know.
And this is from the studies that I read.
Uh-huh.
In about 10% of the women, pelvic floor muscles, the contractions during orgasm really can propel a few drops of clear fluid out of the urethra.
And that can actually feel like you're about to urinate.
That's right.
But it's really not that.
That's right.
It's really, it's really similar to when a man ejaculates.
Yeah, it's made up of natural sugars
And so ejaculatory fluid.
right.
Yeah.
There's prostatic acid. It's called phosphatate, and that's a chemical that's also found in men. So, and if that does happen to you, odds are your partner really thinks it's like super hot. So, there's a lot that goes on below the belt down there with the
With women
ladies.
and men.
Yeah, that's true.
With both of us.
And
yeah.
And Elise, you and I being in the beauty business, we're very, very aware of beauty and wrinkles.
Oh my gosh. We're aware of a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
it turns out that you get wrinkles down there too.
You get wrinkles everywhere.
That's right.
Yeah. As you age, every part of your skin
Yeah,
can wrinkle.
It's from a decreased metabolism,
Moisture.
you get memory loss.
And
know.
you forget to do certain things, believe it or not.
Yeah, and your vagina has to deal with the old age too, And
Well, of course it does. Every part of you has to deal with it. Believe me, below your belt has to deal with it too.
but there's a lot of changes that go on down there. And,
Okay.
And it usually starts in your 40s. So I'm just starting to experience some of these things myself.
You. Makes me laugh whenever he says that out. Yeah.
Now, with women, most of the age-related differences that you're going to notice is increased dryness, yeast infections.
Well, okay, the yeast infections will just happen. They happen especially if there's increased dryness. And they can just happen anyway. If you don't urinate enough, and sometimes you don't drink enough. And as you get older, you kind of forget those things. Believe it or not, you forget to drink when you're supposed to. You're supposed to drink enough water per day to keep your body hydrated. And then as you age, you actually need to drink a little bit more water and keep things moving and flowing and actually urinate more.
Yes.
And that's to remove the toxins, and it helps keep your body pure.
And the hydration also helps in the large intestine also.
Well, hydration helps with everything. It helps with every part of your body, especially your brain.
One of the age-related conditions that occur for ladies down there is called prolapse.
Prolapse?
Yes. That's the dropping of the uterus and the bladder.
Oh my God. And there's a simple surgery for that.
Yeah.
I actually know somebody that happened to, and it's actually horrible. She, I felt so badly for her. She would walk around actually holding her stomach as though she could keep things in
Really?
place. Yeah, that actually happened. There's a simple surgery that she actually had. She always felt like she always had to go to the bathroom. It was like her uterus fell into her, or her urethra, whatever it was, actually fell into her bladder.
Yes, that happens. And Kegel exercises are very, very helpful.
Huge. I tell everybody, do your Kegel exercises. Do them. Not only is it good for, we've talked about this for sex, it's good for everything. The muscle is so important. Yeah.
That's right. Now, as far as treatments go, there's an option of having, it's called a supportive pessary. And that's a removable device inserted into the vagina to keep things in place.
Really?
Yes, it's called...
She had surgery.
Okay, yes. What she had was called cystocal repair. That is tucking up the bladder.
She did that.
Yes.
Yep.
And then
she
there's
did that.
Also rectosal, which is
Oh my
tucking up
gosh.
the rectum.
Oh my God, the rectum? Really?
Yes.
Everything needs a tuck these days,
Everything.
okay? There's a tummy tuck, there's a rectum tuck, there's a bladder tuck, there's all kinds of tucks.
And I guess the worst of all these is the hysterectomy, which is, the removal of the uterus and the cervix.
Well, at least you don't have to deal with this dropping.
Right.
And
something that I have to say on the air is, and I only know this because of the gynecologists that who are clients of ours and friends of ours, be certain to have this conversation with your doctor if you're going to have a hysterectomy. A lot of times what they do is they just go in there and scoop everything out. And
that is such an awful way to put it. Scoop.
They scoop it out.
It's like, you think of an ice cream scooper.
Yeah.
Or a melon baller, a little scooper. It's just...
The tragedy there is they're not looking at what they're scooping up. And they're scooping up thousands of nerve endings.
All the nerves, yeah.
Yeah, that will keep you, sexually stimulated or sexually aroused.
It's interesting because I know a lot of women who have had hysterectomies, and they say that they have absolutely positively no desire to have sex.
That's because all of those nerve endings were removed. So
that is so interesting. That is really so interesting that could unfortunately happen like that.
So please, if you need this surgery, please talk to your doctor about this. And if they shake their head or never heard of it, go see another doctor. We here at Trend Radio, we're all about sexual education, and we want everyone.
And keeping it real.
Yeah.
And the thing is that it's a very important part of your life, whether you realize it or not. You might not be sexually active at this time, but it really is very good for your brain, for your heart, for your mind.
And for your relationship.
Well, that goes without saying.
Elise and I know very well that as you age, your skin loses its elasticity.
Yes.
And wrinkles become a lot more pronounced. Mm-hmm. And something similar happens to your vagina.
We actually, there's a previous show that we actually talked about this. That is why there are different lubes and creams and
That's right.
different things to massage with, if you recall.
That's
but
right.
even if you're not using anything, just actually massaging. Remember, there was that whole thing about the vaginal massage.
That's right.
And you want to keep the tissues plump. And that's why you want to, it's not even a sexual thing.
And estrogen helps that.
Okay, now here you said a word that is very important, estrogen.
That keeps the skin plump and,
yes,
and much
it does.
more elastic.
And there are some women that are not able to have estrogen in their lives.
Okay.
And I am one of those women. And I know this for a fact because the type of cancer that I unfortunately had was estrogen bred. And estrogen feeds cancer. And so you have to be very careful. That's why there are other options for you. And you'll find this out with your doctor. You can go to your gynecologist, your OBGYN, and discuss these different things. Or you can even discuss this with an oncologist if that's the route that you're unfortunately in. Because I know a lot about this. And if you have any questions at all, because I do know firsthand all about this, feel free to reach out to us at trendradio920@gmail.com. We'll be happy to discuss any of this with you, and I can give you the name of excellent doctors and excellent people to prescribe anything that you might need in this area.
Yes, if you need any friendly counseling,
absolutely.
Elise is an expert in these areas.
Thank you so much.
And really help you from a from a layman's point of view,
absolutely.
A real person's point of view.
Yes.
Who has
dealt with this.
Dealt with it. Absolutely. And that loss of elasticity in the vagina, there's a name for that.
What is it called?
It's called vulvovaginal atrophy.
We
VVR,
talked about the atrophy. That can happen with clitoral atrophy also if you're not using.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes, atrophy is a bad thing. We don't want anybody to be stuck, if you will, in that circumstance.
That's right. And this is an area where the Kegel exercises do not help.
No, that's an area where the massage will help you, though.
That's right. And any kind of activity that stimulates and invigorates that area.
Yeah, because
including the sexual arousal.
Yeah, sexual activity and sexual arousal. Yeah, it's really important. That's what gets your blood flowing. That's what fills your body with hydration, if you will. And that different.
Yeah, and
help me out here. Well,
your doctor might even recommend like a vaginal moisturizer and something as natural as coconut
oil.
Yeah,
coconut oil. I actually have to tell you, I have a friend that uses that exclusively all over her body, everywhere, all over her body.
It's funny you say that. I think I'm kind of a metrosexual kind of guy.
You think?
I actually use coconut oil every night.
Yeah, I'm a big coconut oil fan as well.
My lady makes fun of me because she calls it I primp before bed.
Really?
Yeah.
I've actually said that to you too, so a lot of us think that, huh?
I really saturate. I have a routine.
He has a routine. Do you know?
That's why I'm 40 years old and I look 20.
What's interesting is Christian Bale in American Psycho, he had a routine as well. Just saying.
I massage the coconut oil into my scalp to keep my
hair follicles
clean and to help promote healthy hair growth.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually rub it into my beard. I have a very manly beard, and it keeps it soft.
Yes,
and shiny.
actually, that is true. That is true. It does glisten.
Yes. So it gets a lot of attention.
Yeah. He's so happy it got his attention. He just loves it.
I do like attention.
Yes.
I do. I don't know why.
I could tell you why, but I probably shouldn't. Taking a quick break. Trend Radio continues after this on 920 The Jersey.
We'd like to thank Artis, a place to live and grow for seniors with cognitive disorders, where empowerment, pride, and fulfillment define memory care. If you're joining us just now, we are Anthony, Vincent, and Elise, together, Trend Radio, where we talk about love, lust, romance, and sex.
Mostly sex. Mm-hmm.
Well, Elise, in response to your dropping estrogen levels. Not yours.
I know, not mine.
You, yes. You know, the uterus really can change size, get bigger and smaller as you get older. The uterus, that's where you're gonna. So how do you keep your uterus intact? Well,
Dr. Anthony.
Okay. Well, May Hesh Blanchard, doctor and associate professor in the Department of
Obstetrics.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Gynecology and reproductive scientists at the University of Maryland School of Medicine. Mm-hmm. She says that the vaginal entrance narrows with age. And
yes, but everything does.
Okay.
Everything gets smaller.
That's right. All of the tissue tends to constrict.
Yes.
You know, particularly if it's not being used.
Exactly.
And this is from a report according from Harvard Medical School. Mm-hmm. So this narrowing really can lead to irritation, dryness, and sometimes inflammation
and
pain. Right?
Yeah.
And once again, that's a condition called atrophic vaginitis.
Yeah, we've actually had this conversation a little bit before. Yes, we actually have. And that's why it's really, really important that you continue your good habits of taking care of yourself.
That's right. And that atrophic vaginitis, left untreated, really can cause bleeding and the painful sex that we sometimes talk about.
Yes, ulcers. Definitely a very uncomfortable situation.
That's right. Now that being said, you know, maintaining a certain level of sexual activity really can offset the narrowing of this. And how often you should be doing it? Well, that needs to be what's satisfying, comfortable with the woman and her partner. Mm. And again, they push these estrogen treatments that might help. But again, you
want to check with your doctor first. Some women are definitely excellent candidates for that. You know, I mean, I have many clients on, you know, estrogen enhancement because for this type of thing. But, you know, they get this from their doctor. They check their hormone levels, their estrogen levels, and they make sure also, you know, they don't have any cancer cells in their blood, in their bloodstream. You can see these things. So it really depends on you as a person.
It really does. Now, you know, some of my bodybuilding friends, they use estrogen. Mm-hmm. Why, I don't know. I know it's a hormone, but I don't know what estrogen does in men.
I'm not 100% sure, but I know what testosterone does, and they need to balance the testosterone. Sometimes men, especially bodybuilders, have too much testosterone because they enhance that. They take extra testosterone to keep their muscles firm and building as big as they'd like them to be. Because a lot of men, the men that have the extremely big, hard muscles.
The ones that look like little monkeys?
Well, some of them, they're bodybuilders, and that's what they do. And so they do testosterone therapy. And so sometimes, for mental clarification and mentally, they need to have that balance. So they pump up with a little bit of extra estrogen to keep themselves balanced. I'm really not an expert in this area, so I'm not the one to ask, but I can certainly find out if anybody is curious.
Yeah, if anybody's interested, please contact us here.
Absolutely.
And Elise will always answer all of your questions.
I will certainly do the research there for you.
Yes, she's excellent at that.
Thank you.
And as time goes on, the musculature and the ligaments supporting the pelvic floor, they start to relax. And in some cases, the urethra may actually move in relation to the bladder. And that could cause leaking.
Oh my gosh.
Alicia, you know all about the leaking, right?
Well, believe it or not.
When you pee a little bit after you
after you laugh or sneeze, Fortunately, I have a very strong area, and so I'm not
sit
worried.
Very close to her, and whenever she sneezes or coughs, I move away a little bit because if she's not wearing her always pad,
I can't
we
even
sit
believe
right
he's
next
doing
to each other. My leg gets wet, and I thought, well, maybe I spilled coffee on it or something. No, it's Elisa's pee.
It's interesting that he says these things. It really is. It's amazing. But you know what? Whatever he needs to do to make himself feel better.
She always sneezes and pees.
Yeah, I'm the sneezer. I'm the peer. Yeah. That's okay. It's okay, Anthony. Next time we're in the drugstore and you're making your purchase,
I'm in trouble.
I won't say another word. Okay. You're okay.
Well, when you do get older, the UTIs actually are a little more frequent.
Yes.
Cranberry
juice, cranberry pills, wonderful solution for you.
I like to drink cranberry juice just for the sake of drinking cranberry juice. I know it's healthy.
A little high in sugar. So you want to make sure that you get the cranberry juice that's all natural.
Okay.
With no sugar added.
Yeah.
Even though there still is quite a bit of sugar naturally.
I always look for unsweetened anything.
Yes, but this actually in itself, the juice in itself, regardless of whether they add any extra sugar to it, it does have a lot of sugar in it. So you want to be careful with that, especially if you're not somebody who can have sugar.
Yeah, I try to stay away from it. What I find is the sugar actually makes me a little hyper. And then I get hyper, and then my blood sugar drops, and
you crash.
I crash.
Yes, and then let me tell you something, everybody. Nastiness happens when he crashes.
With me or people in general?
You.
Oh.
Just saying. I was talking about you.
Oh, well, on that note, then I just want to share with our listening audience, and this is I only say this because
this is going to be bad.
I'm ready.
Al, you're across the table, so you're not aware of this.
This is just going to be bad. Mm-hmm. I know it.
But working in the microphone right next to Elise.
Fortunately, we do not share a microphone.
Right.
There are certain body odors.
I knew it. Told you it was going to be bad.
That you should never ignore.
Especially like the one sitting next to this co-host right here that I'm talking about.
So, and these odors can be signaling you that there's a health issue more than that you just, completed a workout and, you chowed down like some onions and garlic on your burger.
On the real side of things, if you do smell something that's not actually a normal scent for yourself, you do want to go see your doctor, because that's your body telling you there's something wrong.
And I see, Elise, go going to the sink back there and brushing with her minty fresh toothpaste that she thinks she could remedy the situation. But I gotta tell you, Al, it's not that simple. She just goes over and brushes her teeth. There's more to it than that. And that's because these body odors actually speak volumes about your health.
Yes, they do.
In fact, some diseases actually produce a very unique, distinctive odor.
That is true.
One of them is C. diff. And C. diff is really a bad disease. People die from this. And it's if you've been on a regimen of antibiotics for too long, it kills all the bacteria in your body.
The good and the bad.
Good and the bad. And there's one brutal bacteria called the C. diff. And that's the one that overgrows in your stomach, and it's almost like a fungus in your stomach. And,
oh my gosh.
And it creates one of the most foul-smelling scents you will ever. And it's very, very distinguishable. If you've smelled it in the past, you know what C. diff is.
Oh my.
So, but getting back to a more recent Swedish study, there are some funky fumes that you should really take note of, and they're much more common than C. diff. And what you should do if these stenches arise.
Okay. On that note.
Okay. Like fruity breath. Fruity breath, a sweet breath. That's a symptom of diabetes.
Exactly, that actually is. And I was going to actually say that's when there's too much, your body's not producing enough insulin in your system.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's called diabetic ketoacidosis. And that occurs when your body runs low on insulin and your blood sugar spikes up.
What I said.
Yes, you're so smart.
Well, my mother was diabetic. So I know a lot about that.
That's right. And people with the type 1 diabetes usually experience it more than those.
And my grandfather was diabetic also.
Oh.
Now, both of them happen to have had type 2, but
Okay.
I do know a lot about it.
Oh, okay. And what's happening there is that your body can't create the energy it needs to function properly, so it begins to break down the fatty acids for fuel.
And then that comes through your breath.
Yes, it does. And, it can be serious, even deadly. If you're puking or urinating frequently, it's causing your body to lose fluids at a very
And
dangerous
most
rate.
diabetics actually will urinate frequently.
Yes.
Yeah, that is true.
These conditions usually occur with other symptoms like fatigue, blurred vision, unexplained weight loss.
Or weight gain.
That's right. And people don't put them together.
No, because because they think they're just tired. They think they're fatigued. They have a fluish symptom.
Yes.
And they don't realize what it is. That's why it's so important you go see your doctor. You'll have a certain feeling also, not only in your breath, but in your mouth. You'll have like paper mouth. Your mouth
dry,
is very dry. No matter how much you drink, you're very thirsty. And that's why you keep on going to the bathroom, because you're very thirsty. So you're drinking a lot, but it just doesn't seem to quench your thirst because it's not the right, you need something else. You don't produce enough insulin.
Right.
So your body is not functioning at its proper levels.
So if you have the sweet smelling breath and these other symptoms, get to the doctor fast.
Absolutely.
And another thing that I experience back here is stinky feet.
No, he doesn't.
And that's
unless they're his own.
That's athlete's foot. Now, I tell you, Elise, wash your sneakers.
I don't wear sneakers, Anthony.
You throw them in the washing machine with a little bleach. You might have a fungal infection. Now,
it's painful, actually, listening to him sometimes.
Stick your feet up on the table over here. I want to see if you have any dry, scaly skin around your toes.
Look how pretty my pedicure is. Look how pretty.
Look, it's all
orange.
red and blistery.
Oh, my God. Stop it.
My God.
Oh, my God.
So, I'm only kidding. But if
Are you?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Now you're kidding?
I'm kidding.
Yeah? Thank you.
You're welcome. But if your feet do have a foul odor, it's caused by a combination of bacteria and fungus. eroding into your skin and your toes. And
yeah, it can be pretty bad. And you know what? Nothing over the counter is really going to help. You really need to see a doctor because there are different strains and different levels.
That's right.
And so something over the counter is meant for everyone, and it's like one size. One size doesn't fit all with this because everybody is a different person.
That's right. And if you scratch your feet and then touch another part of your body, you can actually spread that fungus. You can
spread that, exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that.
Plus if you ignore the athlete's foot, that skin between your toes becomes really excessively soft and moist, and it makes it an entry point for other bacteria.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And you can...
That's why it runs rampant in athletes, the showers.
Oh.
The locker rooms. Because everybody is barefoot.
You don't want to put your feet anywhere somebody else's feet has been.
Yeah.
I know. I keep a pair of flip-flops in my gym bag. So
so when you take a shower,
my feet do not touch a floor.
Or any kind of clubs or anything like that. You want to make sure that you're wearing flip-flops, shoes, that kind of thing.
Yeah. You could, your own, yes, and you could develop conditions like cellulitis, which is
really, really, really bad.
Really bad.
Yeah, that's a bacteria under the skin, and that can really spread. And you know what? We know somebody, unfortunately, that died from that.
Yes, we do.
So you really have to be careful with that. That's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
It shut down all of her organs. Cellulitis. And that's what it will do.
We're going to take a quick break, and Trend Radio continues right after this on 920 The Jersey.
We'd like to thank Artis, 60 years experience in the field of senior living care, focusing on helping each resident find meaning and joy every day with dignity.
Intestines.
Yes.
When your small intestine doesn't produce enough of an enzyme called lactase, it can't digest lactose.
Oh.
Now, what is lactose? It's a sugar.
It's like sugar.
Yeah. And they're usually in dairy products.
Yes. A lot of people are actually lactose intolerant.
That's right. So what happens is the small intestine directs the lactose directly to your colon instead of your bloodstream.
Oh.
And that's where the bacteria ferments it, causing a very foul-smelling gas.
Oh.
And bloating.
Oh.
And lactose intolerance is very common. In fact, it's estimated that about 65% of people have trouble digesting dairy, at least according to the National Institute of Health.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot of people. I know a lot of people that have that issue.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if your gas is particularly pungent after you drink some milk or have some yogurt, you might want to check in with your doctor.
Okay.
All righty?
Get that, people. Listen to that.
Now, another strong smell that you don't want to ignore is...
Oh my gosh, I can say this one, urine.
Oh,
definitely.
That's
if
right.
you have any kind of strong smell when you are urinating, very, very bad. It can be so many different things. Urinary tract infection, bladder infection, kidney issue. There are so many issues that could be there. And you don't want to have that kind of bacteria that goes through your whole system. And you definitely want to see your OBGYN at that point.
Unless you ate like a pound of asparagus.
Okay, well, that is not even the same kind of scent. That's a change in color. And that, you would have a different bit of a scent, but you'll know. You'll know the difference. Plus, honestly, there'll be some burning.
That's right. The UTIs really produce a very pungent, almost chemical smelling urine.
And they'll be burning. So you should know about that.
Yeah, and this happens after the bacteria, most commonly E. coli, it enters your urinary tract and urethra, and then they multiply in your bladder, causing that infection.
Yeah, you really definitely want to be careful with that.
And you said this earlier, I think, maybe last week, that these UTIs are more frequent in women?
Pretty much so, but men can actually get them.
And why was it more prevalent in women?
Because women have a shorter...
urethra?
Yes, a shorter stem.
Oh, okay.
To their urethra than men do.
Okay.
So there's more space with a man. And so with proper hydration and proper urination, men are usually pretty safe with that. Now, it could happen. It has happened, but it's definitely more common in women. And especially a woman who may be diabetic. Mm-hmm. That's even more common there.
Okay.
And older women too.
We work with the public a lot.
Yes.
And have you noticed a lot of people suffering from halitosis?
A lot of people actually do. And there's so many different reasons why. Bad
breath.
Yes. And so many women do. And there's men do too, of course.
Even if you brush your teeth regularly.
Because that doesn't come from, dirty teeth, if you will. It's not even about that. Or clean teeth. It's coming from within your stomach. It's coming from up. It's from down and it's going up. And that also, we've also learned that sometimes bad breath can even happen when you're angry.
Oh, yeah.
I have to be honest, that actually happens with me. You always know when I'm really angry with you.
She is.
Yeah.
And it's always with me. She's never angry at anybody else. It's just me. I don't understand.
You don't?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry that you don't.
So, I looked up in the Doctor magazine, a common cause of bad breath, and right there, this is my picture. What the heck is that all about?
That's great. That's great. Oh, I love that. That was good. Good for you.
So what I'm saying is that, what Elise is saying is that bacteria breeds more readily and certain kinds really multiply. And what happens is they produce this sulfurous gas that can give your breath a rotten egg smell.
Yes, that is absolutely the truth.
We're really getting heavy on these subjects. Can we lighten this up a little bit?
Of course.
Alrighty.
I love to lighten things up. Alrighty. What do you want to lighten it up with?
I want to talk about cuddling.
Okay.
And
you like to cuddle?
I'm a cuddler.
Okay.
So, and I'm reading this these items for sale, that you can wear these items, you can cuddle these items, and you can even bathe with these items.
Really?
Yes. They're all vagina inspired items that
ways to cuddle with and wash yourself with your vagina?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
This is what you're looking at? This is what you're looking into?
I wanted to lighten this up a little bit.
This is light. Okay. So, let's...
Okay, just as if being a girl isn't cool enough.
Yeah, it is the coolest. Being a girl is the best.
You can wear your lady pride.
Huh?
And there's an increasing number of wacky products out there that allow you to flaunt your undying love for your Netherlands.
So, what would you wear?
Well,
because I have to be honest, there was a march, if you remember last year, where women were wearing bad costumes.
Vaginas on their heads they were wearing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why would you want to wear that?
Well, this is what I'm talking about.
What would you wear?
And we're not talking about stuff you'd get at a bachelorette party. These are really thoughtfully, adorably made items.
Adorably made?
Oh, yeah. Well, look at this.
I don't understand why you want a pillow like that.
This is a pillow that has the anatomy of
and it has it all actually there. Well, you know what, ladies? The ones that don't know what's going on down there, hear me out for just a minute, okay? I don't necessarily think you should cuddle with this pillow, but this is something you can learn from, okay?
And you can teach your man, too.
This is an education here. This pillow actually has all of the parts labeled.
It's the female anatomy.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yes. It's a nice little pillow.
Okay, but what else would you wear? Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. There's a necklace. Oh, my God. With curly chain link.
Talk about a conversation starter.
Oh,
it is,
my God.
People have you wondering.
Can I just please have this picture?
Sure.
Excuse me. Oh, my gosh. A vulva necklace. Huh.
Looks like kind of a seashell, doesn't it?
There's also a little pocketbook called a Volvette.
And describe it for the audience.
Well, it's a little clutch, okay? And it looks like a pretty little, I don't even want to call it, it's got a little rosebud clasp, a rosebud clasp. Get it? Boy. Yeah, I have to be honest, I probably wouldn't carry that little clutch. And I definitely would not wear this necklace. But the artist is quite amazing. That is quite an amazing pendant.
Yeah, very, very nice. I think the pocketbook is cute too. It looks like a vagina clasp. I
said that. It's got a little rosebud right there. See the little rosebud?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can carry tampons in that bag.
You know, this is actually pretty discreet because it looks like an upside down heart with a little rosebud in it and a flower. Yeah. So it is kind of discreet. But I really wouldn't tote that around. I just have to say, though, this little necklace, this pendant, not comfortable at all with it because not comfortable at all.
You're comfortable with a potato, but not that.
Potato, yes. I do wear a potato necklace, but there's a reason for that. I'm not going to wear my vagina on my neck. But the potato, yeah, there's a reason.
Well, my favorite item here is the clitter ring.
The what?
The clitter ring.
Clitter ring?
Yes, it's a lady pride ring, and actually, this ring became.
It's a ring that you wear on your finger?
Yes, there's the vagina, and there's the little man in the boat right there.
All right, listen. Anybody who wants to know about any of this, you can email us at trendradio920@gmail.com, and I will absolutely hook you up with these products because they're hilarious.
Well, this ring actually became very, very popular when a photo of the feminist icon Gloria Steinem, she was wearing it and it appeared on the internet.
Really?
Yeah. That ring right there. It's actually a pretty cool ring.
I don't get it, but okay.
It actually looks like a wishbone.
Yeah.
It looks like a
It's
wishbone.
kind of weird.
But if you want one, it's $122.
Yeah. I think the pendant, though, is really pretty cool. It's only $50. Yeah, I think it is. I wouldn't wear it. It's kind of bizarre, you know.
Would you cuddle up with your uterus crochet pillow?
No. I have to be honest, I wouldn't.
Okay. That comes in different sizes.
Why don't you get the uterus crochet pillow?
I have boob pillows.
Okay, well, you can add the uterus and then you'll have the whole thing. How about that?
Well, how about these coasters? Now, these coasters, they're really very cool for your next party.
Okay, they just look really modern, and that's actually really cool, and they're cute.
It's funny that you say modern because these symbols.
It looks like modern art, doesn't it?
Right, but they're ancient symbols.
It looks
for the
like
female,
hieroglyphics. Yeah.
Yes, and they are real symbols for the female genitalia.
Well, it just kind of looks like a cool little hieroglyphic there.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to those at all because nobody would really know what they were except for me, you know? And so I'm fine with that.
And then these little soaps.
Yeah, the soaps are creepy.
They look like little
Figs.
vaginas.
They look like figs.
Yeah. But they are vegan.
That's fantastic. I think they're weird and creepy, and I wouldn't have them in my bathroom when people came over. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay. So.
Yeah? What else you got? Because that was freaky.
That was freaky. You know, my friends, and I don't know why they share this with me, they seem to let me know all about their doctor visits and things like that. And
you don't know why?
I don't. You know why they tell me? They tell me about their aches and pains, and they tell me about their gynecology visits. I don't think I really need to know these things, but
I happen to agree.
They share with me. They share with me, and you know they'll call up on the phone, to make their appointment with, with Nancy, our waxer, and they'll tell me, Anthony, can you make an appointment with Nancy? I need a bikini wax. I'm going to go see my gynecologist.
Interesting.
So, evidently these bikini waxes just aren't, to go on vacation or, you got a date.
Well, most women that I know, if they have waxing, then they shave or whatever they do it on a regular basis. Most women I know. There are very few women that just let it go naturally.
Well, according to a new survey that's published in JAMA Dermatology, there's a whole lot of ladies that, primp their private parts before they go to the doctor.
Yes, that is true.
This survey that they did, they asked almost 4,000.
And do you know why that is? Because they want their first of all, they're going to primp anyway prior to anything because they're going to be doing this on a regular basis. But they're going to definitely make sure that it coincides with their gynecology appointment because they want their doctor to know and see that they're taking care of themselves.
Is that what it is?
That is what I think it is.
Oh. Well, they surveyed over 4,000 women between the ages of 18 and 65 about their personal hair removal habits. And 40% responded saying that they tidied up their private parts before they go
prior
to
to seeing the doctor.
That's right. And
what did they say their reason was?
They didn't. They just said that they did.
Okay. As a woman, because they want their doctor to see that everything is clean and that they are taking care of themselves, I just think.
And also, 58% of the White House staffers said they do that too.
Well, I'm sure most women do that. Except for the ones that just, they do their thing. They take their shower, they go, and they're natural.
Right. But another interesting tidbit they got from the survey is that researchers also found that about 60% of these people polled prefer to go totally bare, and more than half of them say they do so because of hygiene reasons.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is we've had this conversation. Hygienically, it's better to let things just go than to shave or wax.
That's right.
That is the truth.
That is absolutely the truth.
Because the body produces, especially the vagina, produces certain bacteria that the body needs for health reasons.
That's right.
And so we've learned that as we've read and researched.
And the doctors could care less.
Oh my God. They see so many per day. They don't care. They don't remember who's who. And they don't care about that at all.
They don't give a hoot about your hoo-ha.
But the truth... That was cute. But the truth of the matter is that you really do want to just keep yourself clean.
That's right. And pubic hair provides protection from bacteria and abrasion.
Exactly. And the thing is that when you shave, and especially, I don't understand?
You get the microabrasions when you shave.
But listen to this one. Women will shave and do their waxing right before they go to the beach. Hello? What's on that beach? Dirt.
Sand.
Dirt.
Bacteria in the water.
Dirt.
The experts say that our obsession with youth really contributes to the pressure that these women feel to stay smooth. And, body hair on a woman really invites ridicule and being unfeminine or unkempt.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. But the reality is that you really have to be very, very careful how closely you shave, how closely and how often you wax, because you really do have to be careful, even under your arms. Do you know how many cysts you can get from shaving too closely or from waxing too often?
Oh, yeah.
We wear bras. We have shirts that have tags. There's all kinds of things that can happen. Ingrown hairs. So many things, and they can lead to so many other issues. So you really want to be very careful with that.
So if you're grooming yourself or having someone else groom you and you're not doing such a hot job, give us here at Anthony Vincent Salon a call and have our professional staff discreetly groom your groin, as we've been doing so far for over 30 years. We have experts.
Just call up 609-448-2212 and ask for Nancy, and we'll schedule an appointment for her. For you.
With her.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You got it.
Anytime.
You'll be glad you did.
Just let us know.
You got the last word.
No, you did.
Taking a quick break. Trend Radio continues after this on 920 The Jersey.
We'd like to thank Artists, where senior residents are encouraged to do what helps them feel fulfilled and content, offering spacious living areas designed for social and emotional connections, with safety always at the forefront.
So, Anthony, you know how a couple of weeks ago we were talking about wine and sex and how wine's an aphrodisiac?
Oh, yeah, the aromas.
Yeah, the scent, and then just drinking a little bit, everything in moderation.
Oh, always in moderation.
You know, and then how it amps up your sex drive. Well, you know how we always talk about aphrodisiac foods and whatnot?
Yeah, we have some interesting things going on about aphrodisiac foods.
We sure do, like our upcoming show.
That's right. For those of you that
aren't in the know,
Elise and I have a new show on television, and it is called Enhance Your Romance.
With the Aphrodisiac Chefs.
We cook with love.
Exactly. And what that means is we not only cook with love for our bodies and our health, but also with our sex lives in mind.
That's right. What a lot of people don't realize, and this has been knowledge for centuries, is that there are certain foods that increase our libido in both men and women.
Trigger the serotonin to our brains.
That's right. And the serotonin is where the...
it's the feel-good.
That's the feel-good hormone.
Feel-good hormone.
That's right.
Exactly. Like oxytocin, serotonin, the tonins.
The tonins. And
they help our brain.
And we are all about the brain. After all, the brain is my second favorite organ. And we are launching a cooking show. And
yes.
Elise and I have been working very diligently these past few months in putting recipes together.
Beautiful ones.
That are easy to follow, easy to prepare.
And the interesting part about it is most times they're right in your home.
They're already the ingredients.
You have these ingredients in your home. You just don't know which ones are which. And they're so easy. You can actually take one ingredient and actually make it your focal point for the evening. Quickly, easily, and inexpensively prepare something from soup to nuts. And dessert. Don't forget dessert.
Always dessert.
And a drink, because, let's face it, we're thirsty. But something that you have right in your home, like the avocado. That's an aphrodisiac. Not to give you too much, because we want you to tune in. But you take an avocado, you can make a soup, you can make a salad around it, a main meal, and a dessert all around the avocado. And don't forget the drink. You can add it to your drinks as well. And what a wonderful, wonderful aphrodisiac meal you're going to make. And then after you put your kids to sleep, if you have kids, you spend some time with your sweetie. Hopefully after listening to us, you have a sweetie.
That's right.
Exactly. So we definitely want you to tune in. And as we get closer and closer, we'll give you more information where you can see us, hear us, talk with us.
Perhaps even be a
guest.
A guest
a
on our
featured guest
show.
on our show.
And
you can taste what we're making.
You can be in our audience, because when we cook, we are going to share. Elise and I are all about sharing.
Absolutely.
And we would love to have you as part of our audience, and we feed you.
Part of our lives, yeah. Exactly. You've been here for so long as it is, listening to us. May as well see us.
So remember us, the Aphrodisiac Chefs. We cook with love. And there's going to be other places you can actually see our show, because it's going to be on Comcast. It's going to be on
YouTube.
YouTube, Verizon. Yeah. There's a couple of Vizio. That was the one.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a podcast that we'll be putting right on our site here at Trend Radio.
That's right.
Yeah.
We may be even cooking in the studio here, which might be fun.
Which would be delicious because we always have our food with us and it's always so pretty. We have so many different colors and...
Well, let's just talk a little more.
You know, I have to tell you, in preparation though, I just wanted to say thank you so much to you because we've been doing all of this prep work at your house right before, I go to work because we're doing this on Tuesday mornings because we don't have any other time.
Hey, you want something done, you get a busy person to do it.
Exactly. But there's no other time for us to do this except for very early on Tuesday mornings. So I would literally go to your house, go over to Anthony's house. And I have to tell you, thank you, Ida, because oh my God, he would take her entire kitchen. And it is her kitchen. Okay, there's a sign that says it's her kitchen.
It says Ida's kitchen up there. It
does. And he would take her kitchen and he would tear it up, okay, and remodel it practically for us to do this. And we've been doing this. And so working diligently. And thank you also to your next door neighbors.
We've
with the cutest little children. Okay, I mean those babies.
We've been rehearsing these recipes,
and they've been eating them.
And we've had guests over.
And so they've been complimenting us and criticizing where need be, but really mostly complimenting, which is so lovely.
That's because Elise and I do everything. Excellent.
Great.
Yeah,
we're great.
Because it's us.
Because it's us. Yes. So stay tuned. You'll be glad you did on that part. But I did want to say a special thank you, of course, to Ida, because she has been the one who's had to deal with us every Tuesday morning for 2 hours, while we did
Actually,
this.
3, because I start at 7, starting to prep and prepare.
Yeah, and I get there at 8-ish. And, and then I have to rush over to the salon, So I wanted to give you guys a big thanks because you're a big part of making this happen as well.
It has been a lot of fun. And I didn't realize how much I enjoy cooking.
And you know what's really great?
I knew I enjoyed eating.
The salon staff is thrilled because I bring leftovers to them as well.
Oh, yeah, they can't wait for Tuesday mornings.
Yeah, because I feed them for lunch. And on that note...
Remember, enhance your romance with the Aphrodisiac Chefs.
You'll be glad you did.
We cook with love. You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Do you want more? Go right to our website, 920thejersey.com, click on demand, and scroll directly to us.
And get the lowdown on getting down. Tune into your bad boy inside you.
Or your bad girl.
Listen each week. We always have something sexy to say. Got questions? Email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
Remember, your smile is your logo, your personality, well, that's your business card.
But how you make people feel, well, that becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.